And you know, us sports moms have something to say.
Yes, we do.
We'll have a chance to interview across the board, from athletes to the parents to the coaches to even the trainers.
And we're not afraid to share our journey. We're not afraid to tell other moms what we went through in order to raise up a student athlete. So I believe that it's inspirational.
We able to tell our story, the good and the bad.
We can give back positive information.
Absolutely.
You know, we can empower them.
Yeah, I think it's time for the mothers to be a voice.
Yes.
That's it.
It's time for us to let you know what's going on.
Hey, this is
everyone.
Karen with Can We Talk Sports? And I'm here with
this is
Arisha.
Hey, this is
What's up,
Arisha,
girl?
aka Icy Fashion. What's up? What's up, everyone?
Girl, I saw on Facebook. Now, you got to honestly tell all moms about how it was dropping your son off to college. Tell us about that.
Well, I did a back-to-back trip. I ended up going to take him on a Sunday because he needed to check in on Monday because KU is doing it right. They're doing COVID testing for the kids first. Before anyone can touch the facilities, they have to be cleared, and do all the medical clearances. So I stayed there. Of course, I think that was not only for him, but it was for me too. Trying to gradually wean away from him. And I left. We did really good, but I think because he knew I was coming back, he turned 18 Friday. So I went back on the day of his birthday early that morning. And, just to celebrate his little 18th birthday. And we did really good. We did good, hung out the whole time. I really took that time to rest a little bit because I've been totally exhausted. So Saturday I just chilled, but I went down there and I cooked this big pasta, famous thing that they call this big pasta dish. Anyways, so him and some of his teammates, roommates and all that, we did that. I brought him a nothing but cakes. I never say it right because that's one of his favorites. And I came back. But by the time I got out, like he was good when we in the parking lot. But by the time I got in the car, I put him on FaceTime. He was bawling.
Oh,
I was sitting there. I was like, please don't cry. I was like, please don't cry. You're going to make me cry. I did good, but I hit Oklahoma. And my brother joked last week and said, you're going to cry in Oklahoma. And I didn't. But true, for whatever reason, in Oklahoma, I was bawling like a newborn baby. Just driving, crying. Pull over. But I got it together.
Oh, wow.
It's time to let him grow up.
Wow. I'm sure every mom, I mean, it's almost like reliving kindergarten again when you send them off to school that first time.
Yes. It's really like I am a crybaby. Like people think I'm so tough with thick skin, but I swear I am a crybaby. I cried when he graduated in kindergarten. And I remember my daughter looking over at me, Mama, why are you crying? And she was like 7, 8 years old, but I was crying. And I don't know. I just cried.
Us as moms, and I love hearing the fact that you were down there cooking, so and then you have to cook enough for the whole team. So that is
Yeah.
awesome, right? That is awesome.
Yeah, that was just me though. That's I do that. I don't know what it is. Even when I left, I said, look, you can go to the cafeteria to eat. I'm ready to go. I was supposed to leave by 10 o'clock. I didn't leave at 1:30 because I looked in the refrigerator. I was like, oh no, I went to Walmart. I'm like, nah, I gotta buy some more food. I went to Walmart, bought food. And he had one of his requests, my famous turkey. They call them my famous turkey hamburgers. And so I went on and made them. I made like 24 of them.
Wow.
And so at least he got some cooking from me before he left.
He did. You did that home cooking meal from that mama's touch.
And guess what? I
What?
made some Kool-Aid I make. You put a little
Kool-Aid?
cherry together. You ever do the Kool-Aid that's cherry and you put a little lemon in there and squeeze lemon in there? You should know about that, Miss Karen. Oh, but you from Cali. You don't know about the Texas
No.
Southern hospitality.
Cause y'all put pickles in Kool-Aid. I just don't understand it. How y'all eat a pickle from Kool-Aid. I haven't tried one yet.
It's the Southern,
Huh?
it's that
You
Southern thing, girl. It's good. It's
oh
good.
oh is it? Well, hey, we have who on the show? Tell them about it. Who we got on the show.
We have the guru. And I'm going to take credit for this word guru because I know that I was the first one that labeled him and D Rob the guru. Like I used to put it on Twitter after I post my kid. And everybody started saying that. So I even told D Rob, I'm taking ownership of that. I'm the one started saying guru. People start respecting it and understand what is she talking about, guru? Yeah, y'all see what it is. The guru, Clay Mack,
Wow. Yes, I'm
VP,
excited.
trainer.
All right, so let's bring him on. Let's play this video about it.
Okay.
I keep hearing everybody talking about who the best DB trainer in the country. I keep hearing this over and over and over again, and I just don't get it. I just don't. Have you ever heard of Clay Mack? Period.
Oh my goodness! I'm like, whoa!
Stop that. Stop that.
Miss Karen, you're drunk. It's all outdoors.
I was just like, he was like, I keep hearing about who the DB, who is Clay Mack. I was like, wow! I was ready to jump out my seat.
Hey, that video still give me
That
chills.
intro is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That video still, and it went viral on Twitter. That's the thing about it. Funny thing about that is that, so I dropped that video at about 12:30 that night, early morning, right before I went to sleep. So I usually sleep with my phone in my bed right next to me. So you know you get the notifications when when you get some kind of like or retweet or whatever the case may be or whatnot. And so my phone actually woke me up with all the doot and the beep beep beeps and I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And I forgot all about it. I dropped the video like right before I went to sleep because I received it that night, probably around about 10 o'clock. From the from King Films who actually edited the video, and so I found I clicked on it, and then so when I looked at my phone, I seen all the notifications from Twitter. So then as I clicked on it, it clicked with me. I said, oh, that's that video. So I clicked on it, and it already had like 30,000 views on it. Like, and a lot of people then, naturally they weren't clicking on it when I dropped it because a lot of people are asleep, saying during that time and whatnot. But this is what they woke up to in the morning.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And within about a 5-day span, it had like 350,000 views on it. And it went nuts. That was my best performing video other than the one I did with Jamal Adams. You know what I'm saying, as far as impressions on Twitter. So
Wow.
I'm extremely proud of them. And like I said, when I watch it, it still gives me chills, to be honest. Because
Oh,
yeah, they
yeah.
and and to be honest, the little part that you were talking about with the who the best DB trainer in the country, da 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 da, just Clay Mack, whatever. That was a script. Actually, they actually made me do that because of the guy who actually who wrote that script. He said, Mac, you always come across as the humble guy, da 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 da, whatnot, but you the best in the country. He said, so this time when I do something with you, you have to bring it out.
Mm.
He said, you so passionate in your training, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? He said, but you got to go against the grain on this one. And I'll tell you what happened though. So when he told me that, so we did this video at American Indoor where I usually train at. I walked around American Indoor for about 10 minutes, contemplating whether I was going to do that to make him change the script. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's just not I'm not a braggy, boasty type. I'm just not. Now, do I think I'm the best DB trainer in the country? Absolutely, hands down. But that's just not how forward I am about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's an inside thing with me because, we all approach this thing through different optics. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to like say this guy better than this guy, et cetera, et cetera. Because I mean, we all have our DNA on how we approach it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get involved in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do and I let other guys do what they do. And just hopefully at the end of the day, we're impacting kids and athletes.
Well, I saw confidence. I saw a sense of confidence. And it's almost like, you said you are the best, but you still have to wear it. And I guess he was saying you got to wear this thing. You got to speak it. Before I know you're a man of faith. So
Manifest.
you know about the power of words.
Right.
So that was a test for you.
Yeah,
Mm.
well, and that's why he wanted me to kind of bring it out, kind of get out the shell, if you will, or what have you. For me, it's a shell within a shell. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in my shell as relates to, what I know I bring to the table and the uniqueness I bring to it and how I, distribute and for information so these kids can understand that growth and development and what we're doing. But by the same token, though, it's just not part of my upbringing to be like that braggy type guy. That's just not within my DNA. That's why I get a lot of flack about like, posting on Instagram and stuff like that, for instance, about like my inactivity per se. I mean, well, for me, I mean, it's not. First off, I don't like it, for whatever we do, it's proprietary anyway. So I don't want people like stealing our stuff and people not giving us credit for it. You know what I'm saying? So and I tell this story all the time. I typically don't watch DB trainers. I watch receiver trainers because naturally I want to know what they know so I can train against that, right?
Mm.
And so I watched 5 receiver trainers one night. It's probably been within the last 4 to 6 months or so, and I seen the same drill did by all 5 guys. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, then if depending on what order you watch these guys, you don't know who stole the drill from who. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these guys post so much of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now and I say proprietary, but intellectual, that's what I meant. But it's intellectual properties. You know what I'm saying? When you do something, you put it out, you know what I'm saying? And you really can't, there's no way for you to secure it per se. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. But if somebody watch you do something, and then watch somebody else do it, but they watch them first, but you were the originator of it. But they don't know if you stole it from them, or they stole it from you, or whatever the case may be, or whatnot. So um, now that I've done that over the years and not put all my stuff out, there's a kind of mystique about the whole Clay Mack brand per se, whatnot. So that's when I drop videos periodically, and when I do, I try to make sure it's a banger. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get your attention when I drop mine. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm not playing with you. I'm not doing that. But by the same token, it's gonna be so fundamentally sound. It's gonna be really, really skillful. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna translate to what these kids need. You know what I'm saying? On Friday nights or Saturdays or Sundays.
Wow. Arisha. Arisha.
So, yes, can you hear me? I don't know. We
Yes.
get a little static or delay or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, I mean, I can come in and say I have firsthand had my kid trained with Clay. And first off, one of the questions is how do you recognize who is a DB and who isn't? Because I can say firsthand, there's been a friendly fire argument between him and D Rob of him
Yeah.
thinking Jordan, not thinking, but knowing Jordan is an actual DB slash safety or whatever. So him and D Rob would have this little battle of you got a receiver over there that should be a DB because Jordan knows how to play both sides. So how determine is it from the kid's physical appearance or just they reaction to things? How do you know who's the DB and who's not the DB?
I think it's quite a bit that goes into that bucket. To be honest, I was an open field transient type of athlete. Growing up, I grew up in West Dallas. In the project, so we did a lot of things that was off the scale and and off the scale per se. As far as climbing trees and going into old abandoned buildings, playing wall with the old chalk and stuff and throwing it at each other and what I'm saying, and just making up different games and things of that sort of whatnot. So a lot of that honed my skill set, and then I was part of a boys club. I'm saying also, so within that boys club, there's multiple sports. I boxed a little bit. Actually, boxing was my first love. But my mom made me stop boxing because
Oh, okay.
so she just then she wasn't just too cool on the dangers of boxing and whatnot. So I boxed for a little bit. What I'm saying, and actually, you have to fight in the neighborhood, what I'm saying, or what have you. And then, actually we would make up, mock boxing matches and little stuff like that or whatever the case may be or whatnot. So then, bike riding and playing football and basketball and doing all and the funny, I'm saying all that stuff. We might have done all that stuff in the same day, though. That's the whole thing about it. What I'm saying, from sun up to sundown,
Yeah.
what have you. What I'm saying, and watching the older guys, stealing moves off the older guys, and I'm saying just just honing in your own skill set. So I'll say all that to say this. Yes, I mean you just got to have an eye for it. What I'm saying, and I can watch guys. Good, I'll give you a prime example. Like I trained a guy named Ja'Cory Shepherd. You familiar with Shep? And he was playing receiver.
Yeah.
And I told D-Rod way back, when I first met Shep years and years ago, I looked at his body frame and I said, Shep kind of built like me, kind of like the stocky build, kind of slanted shoulders type of deal or whatnot. Most receivers are kind of broad shoulder type, straight up and down kind of build, those type guys, whatnot. So that's how I differentiate, certain body types and things of that sort of whatnot. Then also Shep had the same kind of background I had. I played basketball in high school as well. Played at Kimball, won a state championship, played varsity basketball 4 years, played point guard on that team or what have you. And Shep played through his athletics was pretty much the same. He played basketball, was very explosive in basketball, can dunk the ball any kind of way you want to, things of that sort, what have you. Then I just sit there and watch his movements one day. And I told D-Rob, I said, man, stop wasting his time. Man, he's a DB. He's really a DB. And I think maybe because I'm not biased towards that stuff. If I really think a kid is a receiver, because guess what? My junior year in high school, I was an All-American at receiver. So exactly, what I'm saying. So I know, and in my senior year, I made All-American at quarterback. So I know when it's transitional type of or transgressive type of athlete. What I'm saying, you have to feed that athlete to the channel that's going to make him more successful. You know what I'm saying? And once you pick your side, a lot of times you don't have a chance to explore the other side to see if the other side fit. You know what I'm saying? Or not. So if you get recruited as a particular position, typically you stay at the position.
Right.
Because that college count you in at
Right.
the position, and that's how the recruiting classes go. You know what I mean? So but yeah, so to answer your question again, it's body types, it's skill level. And for me, just like I've been blessed to have an eye to just watch athletes move and I could just kind of pretty much determine the dictates and mentality also. Defensive backs have a different type of mentality. You got the dog type of mentality at the receiver as well. But it's a different type of mentality at DB. I mean, it just saying, and I'm not being biased at that. I'm saying that based on experience by the fact that I trained them and I played it. And I played both sides of the ball. So I just know a different type of mentality. I mean, you really have to be mentally tough, and you got to be that down to down. And you really got to it has to be a lifestyle. It can't be no on and on type of deal. It has to be a lifestyle. So even the people that know me, know that I'm a real laid back guy. You know what I'm saying? But I have an edge about me also. You know what I'm saying? So it fits my mentality as it relates to how I train and who I train as it relates to the position that I train. So I mean, and that's why I love it and I'm so passionate about it.
Now, for those moms that don't know what a DB is, can you tell us what a DB is, and then where do they play on the field as far as what their position is?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that because I hear people say DB and safety. Well, no, DB stands for defensive back. Okay, defensive back is the father title or the head title for safeties and corners. Okay, so a
Mm.
safety and a corner falls up under the umbrella of a defensive back or a DB. Okay, so some people refer to DB as a corner.
Gotcha.
A defensive back is a corner and a safety. You know what I'm saying, so corners play on the outside. Safeties play typically up top. Sometimes they'll come down in the box, play near linebackers. You know what I'm saying, so they can get involved in the run game or what have you. So certain situations, play calls is going to dictate where the safeties line up. I'm saying, so if they need to get involved in the run game, probably maybe like a cover three, where you have one safety, the other safety come down in the box. But other than that, mainly for the most part, that's when you see two safeties high, two guys high, and your corners play on the outside. So that's pretty much the overall definition of a defense back.
And I don't see them as being big people, as far as tall. And so, what's like the average size for a DB in weight and stuff?
It depends on the level that you want. I mean, nowadays they're actually looking for the bigger guys. Okay, they're looking for the 5'11", 6 feet,
Mm.
6'1", 6'2", 6'3" DB. They're actually looking for it, and mainly because the receivers have gotten real tall now. You know what I'm saying? The receivers are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7".
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? For that matter, you know what I'm saying? So receivers are
Mm.
looking like basketball players. Um, so that's why they're looking for a bigger defensive back now. However, um, there is also a spot in this game for the smaller guys as well, even the smaller receivers. So also, you got guys like Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Guys like
Yeah.
that. You got slot receivers like Tavon also for the Cowboys. I'm saying, guys like that. They're smaller guys, 5'9", 5'8", things of that sort of whatnot. So there's a place for for all ranges of sizes. You know what I'm saying? Because naturally you don't want a long-legged guy, what I'm saying, playing the slot where the most quick receivers are. Because I mean they simply can't stay with those guys. So you definitely want a smaller guy, a more twitchy guy, you know what I'm saying, in the slot. But the one thing I say in relation to that is, and I tell all my so-called big guys, um, if somebody come up to you, let's just say I have DB 6'1", 6'2", even some 6'3", I tell them, hey, look, if somebody will come up to you and say, hey man, you move well to be a big guy. Okay.
Mm.
So if they preference the compliment by saying to be a big guy, I tell my guys, consider that an insult. Now, don't consider it an
Mm.
insult to the person who's telling you that. Consider it's a compliment, naturally. But your next phone call should be to me. Hey, coach, here's a compliment, so-called compliment I got. You know, uh, Somebody said that I move well to be a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So now we don't play that. I want my big guys move like they 5'9". You know what I'm saying? So and I don't take no I don't take no for an answer for that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to go next level, they not gonna have no pity about the fact that he's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So he moves pretty well, but we don't know if we're gonna pay him $500,000 a year to move
Mm.
pretty well though. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
Mm.
you have to be a big guy to move great. So yeah, I mean I don't take no for an answer for that.
Okay. So, has there ever been a client? Has there ever been a client who you've trained and you see that he's just not getting the skill? And if so, how did you handle that situation? Like, did you tell the kid or kind of talk to the parent? Like for example, like I just asked, how do you know when a DB is a DB? So, see, this is not a DB, but he is insisting that he is going to play DB and he is going to be trained by you.
Oh,
How do you
absolutely.
handle that?
Well, I mean, I'm not in the business of turning kids down. You know what I'm saying? Or turning kids away, turning athletes away.
Right.
So me, I just I take it as a challenge, me personally. I can't speak for everybody else, other
Okay.
trainers and how they approach it. But I mean, it's a calling on my life to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So for me, I don't turn nobody away. As it relates to that. Yeah. Do I recognize it? Oh, absolutely. I've been doing it for a long time, so I can see it within the first 5 minutes whether or not this kid need extra work
Right.
or he's just not quite there, or I mean, whatever we have to do. But exactly what I just said, whatever we have to do to get him where we need to try to get him.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I'm game for that. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, I'm an under the roof for the underdog type guy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I love projects. And
Yeah.
in fact,
So
I
have I.
just had this conversation the other day about the high profile kids that I train, the high profile guys that I train. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about your Jeff Okudas and Jamal Adams and guys like that, Jalen Mills and guys like that. Well, the thing about it, we've been together for a long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So we came out
Right.
with it.
Right.
They won 5 stars and first round draft picks when we met. You know what I'm saying? So, we took a chance on each other. I took a chance on them. They took a chance on me. You know what I'm saying? That we became, teammates, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And and it was a challenge then. So, why would I change my philosophy on how I approach, that particular kid that have the type of discretion, with a skill set. So no, I mean I don't turn down nothing but my collar when it comes to kids. I don't turn down nothing. You know what I'm saying? You you,
Right.
you you never know. That kid might turn it around. They might click with him, year
Mm.
2, year 3, what I'm
There
saying?
you
You never
go.
know. You know what I'm saying? So I never give up on a kid. I don't. Nah, that's just not what I do.
Now, I like what you said.
So
You said I've been called for this. Um, there's a lot going on right now with COVID-19, and as far as athletes and whether sports is gonna, or we're getting back to sports, and we have athletes that are probably mentally struggling with what they're gonna do next. Now, how did you come to that revelation that this is something you've been called to do versus those athletes who believe that they've been called to play? You know, how do they deal with what's going on right now, if that makes sense?
Well, I think anytime you're dealing with a calling, you know it. I mean, it's an organic,
mhm.
spiritual movement, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I was allowed to leave corporate America and train full time and be self-employed. And the thing about it is, I had everything that I needed interjected within me, by going through that plight of working and working for other people and managing other people and governing other people and working under and for other people and things of that sort. So what happened in the midst of that was, I obtained all the skill sets that I needed. I'm saying, to jump out there on faith. I'm saying, to be able to be a bustle to these athletes. And how I know that also is that, sometimes I'll be in my sessions, and let's just say if I'm giving a point to an athlete, right? I'll be meaning sometimes to say a sentence or two, and I end up saying 2 paragraphs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm serious, but sometimes what it is, and that's why sometimes
Pretty.
yeah, I'm being honest. I mean, that's why sometimes my sessions be so long, because I have to get it out. But
Yeah.
I have to get it out because I'm the vessel to be able to give that message to them kids, and
Mm.
that's nothing but the Holy Spirit talking to me and helping me relay that message. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always incubated by that. And I even wondered one day, I was driving, I was like, well, why am I never caught up on a point that I'm trying to make? You know what I'm saying? I never get lost for words as it relates to points I'm trying to make. Well, that's how I know I'm in my calling. That's
Mm.
that's that's how I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being supported.
Wow. So
And
what?
I
What?
I can
Go
I
ahead.
can say my bad. I think we got a delay. But I can say firsthand, people, and I've told Clay this before too, like when he's trained, the kids, like I've sent a lot of people, hey, when they like, hey, who do you take your kid to? Because they've seen video since Jordan was little as a receiver, and then he to the DB. Well, my son plays the other side. I always say first person, Clay Mack or D Rob. But I tell them, if you're going to go grocery list together, go shopping, get you a shopping list, because he is gonna be there. He's not gonna do 60 minutes. He's going to, like, I don't care if he got 20 kids there.
Mm.
If this 5 kids could have did it right, and you get to number 6 and they messed up, and he be like, nope, come back. And then he do
Mm.
it again. Nope, come back. I have seen him myself over the year. This ain't just like, oh, one time. I'm just saying this because I've, been involved with him and D Rob, with my kid. But that's what made me know I had my kid in the right place. Because you've seen coaches watch kids do the drill wrong and just keep letting them repeatedly do the drill wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so I always tell people this is where you go, because you want to make sure your kid is going to get it right. They gonna make sure. I know for a fact, if your kid a DB, you're gonna be there at minimum probably 3 hours. I'm sorry. I mean, because,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's for real. We have been at a session before from 6 to 9 o'clock with him. Like, and you just can't go expecting and complain, oh, we gotta go and all that. You have a bad attitude, don't go. Because you want your kid to get it right. And I mean, that's just the truth. And I mean, that's why, and I appreciate him, Rob, they make sure you get it right. No matter how many people.
And the thing about that, to piggyback on what you're saying, why wouldn't you want your kid to get it right? I don't get that. I mean,
Right.
as adults, if you're, taking a class to try to better yourself and improve your resume, like if you're taking a certification or getting a license or something like that, I mean, you're not going to
Right.
skip out on class early before you get your license or your certification. You're not going to do that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So, I think
Right.
the same approach that you take, what I'm saying, to enhance yourself, at a job to enhance your resume. Well, I mean, you need to allow your kids to be able to do the same thing. I mean, that's how I look at it. So, what we're trying to do is increase your
Right.
kids' skill resume, fundamental resume. I'm
mm,
saying that's pretty much all we're trying to do.
Mm.
I'm saying? So, and as it relates to resumes, your resume gonna dictate whether you get a job or get a second interview. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with these kids. When scouts look at them, they're gonna say, "Hey, look, we're gonna take a second look." You know what I'm saying,
mm,
or we're gonna go ahead and give you the offer your
mm,
scholarship, or we're gonna move on.
Right.
And sometimes you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I'm not, real big on video stuff and filming my kids all the time in sessions also, because, just so happen one day your kid can be having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And we got
mm.
to, what I'm saying? And there's 100 scouts following me, what I'm saying, on social media. I'm saying, and they look at this kid and they find out who this kid is, and now all of a sudden this kid name run across their desk. Then they done already kind of got a profile on the kid by watching my video. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
I like to bring them in
Right.
the lab. All my sessions, all my group sessions anyway, especially when they group session, I treat all of them like they one-on-one sessions, because that's the type of attention I'm pay to every kid. And real quick story, we talked about Jeff Okuda, and a parent asked me one day, why did I make him go back in a session? We was doing the drill. He said, "Man, why did you make him go back like 10 times?" I said, "Well, it was 15 times to be exact." Right? You know, and and he said, "Well, man, I mean, that's the big time Jeff Okuda kid, not the South Grand Prairie, da 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 da." I said, "Well, yeah, he all that to you,
Mm,
okay? I'm not brand new to what he is,
Right.
okay?" I said, "But the thing about
That's
it, when you
right.
get to college, all that big time, this, that, and other whatnot, all that stuff get wiped away." I said, "And there's not a lot of skill development in college." I said, "So for me, what do I look like sending him to college, and he's not ready to be absorbing of the stuff that they're gonna have him to do? Okay, they're not gonna have him doing the stuff that I'm teaching him right now, whatnot. He got to know that stuff when he get on campus, what have you." I said, "But in reference to what you're saying, I made him go back 15 times." I said, "Because he messed up 14 times."
mm.
That's right.
Wow. With that being said,
The
how
detail.
soon should kids start training?
They can I mean, you go to my website, claymac.com. Simple as that, claymac.com. I have a scheduler on my website now, just like how bars and beauticians and everybody have, you can schedule appointments. So I don't do the big group sessions anymore. The max that I'm doing right now, legislated, is 4-man groups over in Duncanville. But I do +1 and +2s over there as well. You know what I'm saying? So my max groups over in Duncanville is 6 kids per session. But
Wow.
other than that, over in Frisco, it's one-on-one sessions or 2-man private sessions only. And I'm trying to keep in conscious, the fact that we're going through this whole Corona and COVID, deal or whatnot. So I'm trying to have a conscience about that as well. I mean, I have a kid as well, so I would want somebody to kind of have their best interest in mind as it relates to that as well. So that's when I did like that. But I like it like that also, because it allowed me to get back to my roots, as it relates to how I train and how deep I get into the training and holding on. So I was kind of excited to get back to that. Just kind of organically. I didn't know I was going to end up doing it that way, but since the situation happened, that what has transpired, and it makes my days longer, to be honest. But me and the athletes, my clients, we get a lot more out of it, on both ends. So, but yeah. So claymac.com. You can catch me there. Naturally, I'll be on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Also, um, and my Twitter was hacked, and so we've been kind of going back and forth. As a matter of fact, ICE has been helping me with that. whatnot. So you know, we kind of worn thin with that. You know what I'm saying? What happened? So I think it's probably gonna just have to, you know, restart me too. I had a lot of followers, so I mean that was the one thing that kind of had me go.
Yeah.
But
Got one more step.
we'll get it back. Yeah, we'll get it back up here soon. And on all my social media, put it like that, is Clay Mack Skills. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, so anybody that can find me, I'm not hard to find, or what have you. And you know, and on draft day, you can probably find me in the green room.
Okay, speaking of draft day, go on and tell them. How many was it? How
That's what I'm
many
trying to be.
was it?
That's what I'm trying to be. That's what I'm trying to be on draft day in that green room. You know, I was telling some of my guys the other day, but not too long ago. I told them, I said, man, the reason I like being in that green room, man, because they got them big fat grapes, man, and them big fat strawberry juices. Man, they be good. They be good in the green room. Hey, that green room
They
is something
feed
else.
them right, huh?
What? Man, look, hey, the food is so well prepared. You don't even want to eat it. Like, I
It's
mean,
too
like,
pretty.
what? Oh my god, man! I'm talking about the meat is just cut like. I mean, did y'all just like skin the animal and just like did y'all cut him on the inside while he was live or something? I mean, what's going on, man? I mean, like every grape, every pineapple, I'm talking about was in perfect. I'm talking about like they measured the spaces in between them. So I don't know.
Oh wow.
Man, it is something else. I tell you that.
Dang.
But yeah, I had
Wow.
three first round draft picks that I worked with this year. Jeff Okuda, we went number 3. Damon Arnett went 19. And, Jeff Gladney went 31. And I had 14 guys to get drafted that I worked with. I actually worked with 43 guys this year. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And I think all but about 6, maybe 7 is currently you know, signed deals, what have you. So it was my biggest year yet, to be honest. So I just look forward to continue to build off that, and then start to transition into some other stuff, some online training and some virtual training and things of that sort. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot, and kind of bag up off the field a little bit and just become a little bit more private. You know what I'm saying, if you will, or whatnot, and just kind of separate myself and take myself to a different level. To be honest.
Arisha?
Okay. So look,
Yep.
what is your so with that said, like I have double question right here off of what you just said. So what is your proudest moment? Are those proud moments for you? I mean, I know they are, but like the first time you had that rounder, was that one of your proudest moments? Did that make you feel like I knew this was my calling and you just saw the fruits of their labor that you put
Mm,
in, on a kid who had a dream, part of the
mm.
1%, and he literally made it, not just made it, but made it big.
Yeah, I mean,
So is that one of your proudest moments?
absolutely. I can't deny that. But you know, I've had other proud moments along the journey. Just seeing kids just get accolades, seeing
Yeah.
kids get scholarships. You know what I'm saying, for that matter. I mean, you know, the cost of going to school is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I even tell guys that if you get a partial scholarship, you know what I'm saying, somebody's willing to pay any part of your school.
Mm.
Whether it's a third of your school, it's a quarter of your school. I mean, chunk of anything. That's less money that has to come out, you know, your parents' pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's less money that you have to apply for, you know, with financial
Yeah.
aid, you know, things of that sort of what have you. You know what I'm saying? So so
Wow.
I've even had kids to go to college that walked on, and you know, maybe like in the springtime or the following spring or the following fall, you know what I'm saying, or you know, receive partial scholarships or full scholarships. So it's been other proud moments, you know what I'm saying, along the way. But as it relates to an organic moment, just you know, we came out the mud with it and we didn't know where we was going with it, and it just what happened to happen like that.
Yeah,
I have to say
that's
that
right.
Jamal Adams going up 6 pick, you know what I'm saying, overall was definitely, I mean, that was a blockbuster deal. That's I mean, wow. I mean, that's a head scratcher. But then coming back with number 3 pick, it's only 2 guys. Two guys in the history of the NFL play defensive back that has been picked at number 3
Wow.
spot. Yeah. And that was
Wow, I
Sean
never
Springs.
knew that.
Yeah, Sean Springs did it in '97. And ironically, he came out of Ohio State, just like Jeff Okuda just did this past year, number 3, whatnot. So
Mhm.
I mean, I can rest my laurels on that. I mean, I don't know if it'll be another defensive back that'll go higher than number 3 per se, just because how much stock they put on quarterbacks. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And rush ins, you know, guys like that or what
Yeah.
have you.
Mhm.
But say you got a number 3 and a number 6 pick, you know what I'm saying, along with, you know, other first rounders, but those guys are being that high. I mean, you know, have you ever heard of Clay Mack? Period.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
I
Come
know that's
on
right. You better say it. I know that's right. You supposed to be like that.
That's
For
right.
the humbleness,
Mm.
but at the day, I feel like even because my kid was a little bitty boy training with Jamal, training with Jeff. I remember when Jamal was what was he like a sophomore, junior
I think
at Hebron, and then Jeff
he's a
maybe just been coming out what about a ninth,
no, I think Jamal was
huh?
I think Jamal was going to a senior year. I think Jeff was going into maybe his sophomore year, something like that, or freshman going. Yeah, it was right around
More
that
year because Jamal was in the
because
he
Jamal
was
he was high
yeah he
graded
was
and
going
all
into
that.
that's right because he did the All American game.
Yeah, he did all that stuff. Yeah, that
Wow.
was
I'm
Jordan
sorry, y'all.
called
We
it.
have a delay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Jordan
I
called.
thought that that was very, very special because that lets my kid, huh? Sorry, Clay, my thing got a delay on it. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
No, I was saying my kid, no, and I know like the way he talks, his eyes are just like when he see those kids that he trained with, it let him know that he ain't just another kid because they had the same dream to have. You know what I mean? And the fact that he called the number 5, number 6 draft pick out when he was 9 years old, which was Jamal Adams. I tell this story all the time, and told him he wanted him to guard him because he felt like in his heart that he was, he was good enough to burn Jamal on a route at 9 years old.
Yeah, yeah, that was funny.
So
But that's good though. I mean, you know,
yeah,
it's good that he's in an environment. You know what I'm saying, where he can feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know, that just lets you know that his competitive nature. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have to be induced. You know, a lot of these kids in competitive nature have to be induced. You have to kind of make them do certain things, and you know, you got to bring stuff out of them and all that type of stuff, whatnot. But
mhm,
you know, whether Jordan was on playing defensive back or receiver, you know, I kept my foot on his neck,
Mm.
regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my guy. I mean, Jordan is
yeah,
still my guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guy, and I think those types of lessons and going through things like that will carry him a long way. You know, being out in Kansas, I think what's going to happen when he get up there and those guys really see him live. I think it's gonna shock them how competitive he is. First off, but secondly, you know, with his skill set, because he's been around, you know, so many high profile guys, and we talking about even guys like Quincy Aljiboje and Laquivia Gonzalez, Demarcus Lodge. You know what I'm saying? We can go down the list of some big time guys. Jordan done been around. You know what I'm saying? James Prochet. You know what I'm saying? We can go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's not brand new to it at all. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't shock me that he make an impression, you know, early, you know, boy in his health. If he stay healthy, I think he'll be absolutely fine.
Now, with what do you think with COVID-19 that's going on? You know, it's been. I think I saw something on the news today. A lot of the people are coming out saying that they should put sports off. That there shouldn't be any sports in the fall because there's a spike in COVID-19. So, what are you hearing, and what's your thoughts about where sports is right now?
Well, I just think, you know, some of these decisions need to be calculated. You know, I think, first and foremost, I think that we kind of open up a little bit too early as a country. You know what I'm saying? So now we kind of going through, you know, ups and downs and the ebb and flows of it. To be honest, I just think, you know, us as Americans, I mean, we're so spoiled to have free range on, you know, within our country and have, you know, so much freedom that, you know, you gonna have some that's okay, let's go ahead and shut it down and we'll be okay, you know, and let us kind of figure this thing out. But then you have some that's not an advocate of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you have somebody pushing and somebody pulling, we going in the opposite directions. You know what I'm saying, as it relates to that. So I think that's the biggest battle. But I think also one of the biggest battles is, we don't have nothing to really, fight this whole deal. It's just like, any other, sickness or illness.
Right.
We have at least medicine for it. We
Yeah.
might not have a vaccine for it or whatever the case may be or whatnot. But even if you get the flu, you can go take a flu shot or you have medicine. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I don't take the flu shot personally, but I will go take medicine for it, and
Right.
whatnot. But with corona,
Mhm.
we don't even have medicine for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing that's kind of it's kind of iffy for us, to be honest. And that's the thing that we're gonna have to, see how we can get around. To be honest, I mean, it seems like they should be able to come up with some kind of concoction, from a medical standpoint, to at least, be able to medicate our communities, so that we can, kind of get back to business. I mean, it'll never be, business as usual, or business as normal, or whatever you want to call it. I think our society has been off this forever, to be honest. But by the same token, though, that don't mean that we can't, get to a point to where, we can't understand what we're dealing with. I'm saying, and then deal with it. I'm saying, to be honest. But as far as counseling, sports, and things of that sort, I mean, I think that'd be a tough deal, to just outright counsel it. But by the same token, um, I'm not opposed to it either. If it's gonna, jeopardize lives, though. I mean, I'm not with let's just do it and let's just see what happens type of deal or whatnot. We don't know enough about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
uh,
See what happens.
we get information as the doctors receive the information,
Right.
and that's sort of whatnot. I personally know people that probably more enlightened on this stuff than some of the doctors, to be honest. I mean, they telling me
Right.
stuff before the doctors even mention it. Saying things of that sort. Um, so when it comes to that, when it's guesswork, I'm saying, I think we need to be cautious in our approach. But again, I think the thing that'll help, I'm saying, to help us kind of ease the tension about it, per se, is that if we get some medicine for it, I'm saying, I think we'll be fine in those aspects. But just trying out vaccines, people, and doing all that those type stuff or whatnot, it's just not enough data to support, what might be, the domino effect, from a vaccine 2 or 3 years down the line. I mean, you don't know
Mhm.
if that stuff might give you cancer, or give you whatever down the line.
Right.
Right.
So that might be a quick fix. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Whatnot. Or a quick psychological fix. Say, you might think, well, I took the vaccine, so I should be,
Okay.
okay, yeah, but you get with, 18 months, you can't walk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a sticky situation.
For
It's definitely,
real.
yeah, it's a sticky situation, whatnot. But I think sports is a fabric of our country. To be honest, I mean, it serves so many purposes. To be honest, so it'll be tragic. It'll be really, really tragic if we have to go down that road where they have to cancel everything.
So what would you do? What is your backup plan if there was no
Yeah.
more sports? What would you do?
What would I do personally? I mean, I have other interests as well. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you one thing, that interest would be geared around trying to make some money to make a living. I tell you that. Um, I would get involved in stock market stuff. To be honest, I would do something like that, and probably try to get more involved in stuff that's necessarily a necessity of life and not a want in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, people need to eat. People need, medical attention. People, it's going to be criminals, to be honest. So you have to pick some that's going to, be a natural part or organic part of our society. You know what I'm saying? To get yourself involved in those things. But wants, if things get that dire, what I'm saying, wants would be diluted at that particular point. To be honest. So, I mean, you just got to get yourself involved with things that's a necessity. And I think, that's some of the things that I would do. And I've started gearing myself, towards that stuff. That's when I said earlier about trying to kind of transgress myself towards different aspects of training. You know what I'm saying? You kind of do more online stuff and virtual stuff and things of that sort. You know what I'm saying, or what have you? Because I mean, if they shut us down, whatnot. That still don't mean people can't train. They just gonna have to, isolate themselves. Like I train kids now all over the country. You know what I'm saying? But I train virtually. I got kids in New Jersey and
Wow.
Georgia and Florida and different places that I train. But we'll do exactly kind of like what we're doing right now. We get on like a little Skype call type of deal, what have you, and I virtually train them. You know what I'm saying? So and they right there like in their house, in their yard, you know what I'm saying, or whatever space that they have, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. So, until we totally find out, what's gonna happen, I just think not only myself but other trainers also need to, think about making those adjustments.
So, I have another, like a two-part question. It almost kind of elaborating on COVID, but not so much of COVID. Say isn't going on. Um, one of the questions is, and to retire, and if so, when do you think that it's time?
You kind of broke up on me. What was that question again?
Oh, okay. So, do you ever plan to retire? And if so, when do you think the time will come? How will you, and then also, how will you know it's time?
Um, I don't think I never, retire per se, like official retirement per se. I think what I would do is just like I was
Hmm.
mentioning a few minutes ago, is that I would I would approach it in different aspects. Like maybe be a consultant,
Mm.
things of this sort, um, what have you. Just kind of do it on a different level, and kind of take myself off the field per se, and then do like seminars and
Hmm.
symposiums and things that sort, train other trainers and train coaches on
Oh
kind of what
yeah.
I do. What I'm saying, in those aspects, and what have you. So and again, that's something that I've been really really contemplating and really kind of getting together. And ironically, I was actually doing that today. What I'm saying, and jot some things down, and how I'm gonna approach it, kind of moving forward. And as you know, I'm really really active in my sessions. It's just kind of a way for me to kind of keep myself in a little shape, to be honest. So as far as retirement, I don't think
Hmm.
guys as trainers per se, what I'm saying, because there's so many aspects that we can go into, as it relates to that. Me,
Right.
I, I
Exactly.
I evaluate other trainers also. What I'm saying,
Mm.
I'm a drill evaluator. What I'm saying, also. What I'm saying, so if I think a drill really don't necessarily apply, I might not say that this drill don't apply. What I'm saying, if I see another trainer do it, I just try to find a silver lining in it, and I try to find out what is this drill is accomplishing, for this particular athlete. What I'm saying, and do it translate. And I think that's what a lot of coaches have a problem with. With some trainers, and what they're doing. Do these particular drills translate to what I'm doing? What I'm saying. So if you're gonna train my kid, do this stuff that you're doing when he come back to me and get ready for a season. Do some of that stuff, directly apply to the things that we're doing. And if not, then us as trainers, we've been counterproductive, to be honest. So, but I think twofold to that also, coaches, if they know that their kids are getting trained, they need to start reaching out to some of these trainers also, to create a binary situation. So to where, like,
That's right.
yeah, for instance, for me, I like to talk to coaches because I need to know philosophically, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
What are some of the things that you do? So when I get your kid in my training session, okay, I already have a blueprint on what I need to do with your kid. You know what I'm saying? If not, if I don't get that or create that relationship, or that relationship don't manifest itself, naturally I just have to stick to my base core fundamentals. You know what I'm saying, or what have you. And I know certain things that they're doing, certain coverages that you're gonna run. You know what I'm saying, so I kind of stick with that, to be honest, and then just show them kind of little nuances, how to be more effective in what it's doing, and then also try to grow that athlete for the next level. You know what I'm saying, as well. So sometimes you damn you do, damn you don't. But one thing I
Hmm.
don't, I don't try to force a relationship on a coach, because some coaches are egotistical. I'm just being honest about that. Um, and one thing I don't deal with is egos.
There
I
you
don't,
go.
I don't,
Yes.
I don't do that because I don't have to. You know what I'm saying, so I don't need no coach, to enhance my name per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I don't need that. It's all about the parent for me. That the
That's
parent is
right.
the one that have the final say so, not the coach, at the end of the
Right.
day. And it's not no Jill got a coach. It's not that, to be honest. But imagine you have a star athlete out of school, okay, and this kid want to get trained, but the coach don't want to get trained. So that coach not gonna play a star athlete? No, he's, yeah, he gonna play a
Yeah.
star athlete. He gonna do that. So at the end of the day, though, to make that
Right.
situation better,
Hmm.
why not coach find out who this kid training with, and then say, hey, coach, here's what we do.
Right.
Okay, could you work with on this? Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, when they look up this particular kid, when they find out what school he goes to, that kid's gonna be affiliated with that school, who's gonna be affiliated with that coach. He's not gonna be
There you
affiliated
go.
with the trainer. He's not gonna be affiliated with the trainer. We
Right.
have to we have to market that we train a certain kid, or that kid have to mention that he trains with us trainers. He don't have to mention what school he go to. They'll find that. They can find that out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And he always gonna be mentioned with that school, whether it's the media, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's the news, whether it's
Right.
whomever, right? They always gonna mention Joe Blow affiliated with this particular school, and that's where it cuts off. It's not gonna say, oh, by the way, and he trains with Clay Mack. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't know why more coaches don't have relationships with trainers that they trust. Put it like that,
Mm.
with trainers that they trust. You know what I'm saying, and take the time out to find out what this guy's
Right.
doing, with his kids. You know what I'm saying, or what have you. I have some great relationships with some coaches, and some coaches. I mean, I don't bother because I watch them from afar, and just I just kind of watch how they move or whatever the case may be. I had a coach walk right by me one day. He knew who I was. Walk right by me, and I trained probably 30 of his kids over the years. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot. But
Wow.
that but that's type of stuff I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you don't acknowledge me, I don't acknowledge you. I mean, that's just how I was raised. So it is what it is. But as long as I acknowledge the kid and his parents, that's all that
Mhm.
really matters to me.
Right. Now, do you allow kids to send maybe a
Right.
highlight tape for you to evaluate them? Like, if they're in the ninth grade and you have a highlight tape and send it to you and you evaluate it and maybe you can tell them areas that they can work on, and especially if they're not in the same state and stuff. Do you allow stuff like that?
Yeah. So the tricky thing about highlight tapes is, naturally you're gonna have all the highlights. Okay. You don't have all the good plays. Okay.
The best
Uh,
stuff.
Right.
yeah, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
I had to
have
find that out. I didn't know that's what a
yeah,
highlight tape is.
yeah, they're gonna have all the best stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you a trick I used to do, and I got it from a coach. So it's not a Mac thing. I got it from somebody. Um, what I do is, if a kid call me and say, "Hey, coach, I want you to check out my highlight tape. Give me some feedback." Bro. I said, "Okay, I'll check it out." I said, "But give me one of your teammates' name also, so I can pull up your teammate highlight and I can watch you
There
organically.
you go.
I can watch you. I can watch you. So now when you tell me your coach don't like you, I see why.
Mm.
He don't like you missing tackles. He don't like you blowing assignments. He don't like you loafing. He don't like all that. But you're not gonna put all that stuff on your highlight though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do that, right? So it's gonna be all the good plays. Or I tell them, okay, well, just send me a whole game film.
Mm.
Send me a whole game film because you might not have a highlight on in every game.
Right.
Okay. So I need to see if you shut it down because maybe y'all playing a team that's not throwing it to your side, or not coming your way, or what I'm saying, whatever the game plan don't dictate that you probably gonna be that involved this week. You know what I'm saying? I want to still see, what your natural character, your natural disposition is. You know what I'm saying? When you have to just be a disciplined guy and still you still gonna hustle to the ball and do all the things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for you to get involved and make highlights per se. You know what I'm saying? So that what college scouts do also. And again, that's where I got it from. I don't just want to see your highlights. I want to see a full game film
Mm.
so I can see. I want to see how you act and responded in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So do you have the
Mm.
same energy that you did when the ball was first kicked off? Everybody got high energy when the first ball first kicked off.
Right.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? They looking sweet. They got their brand new gloves on. They new
Right.
shoes on. Socks hidden right. The jerseys hidden perfect. They got the double chin strap. They got the whole the Zenith helmet and all that stuff or whatever they got. You know what I'm saying? But how are you looking in the late third and the early fourth and the mid fourth? You know what I'm saying? When the game tight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, where your nerves at that point. I mean, don't nobody really have nerves after you take that first hit. And also it's 0-0. So hey, y'all in school, we hadn't scored, but then it's 14-14 though in the middle of the fourth. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, who, what I'm saying, who finna really step it up and see who because you finna go look, it's like this. You finna play in front of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 in high school.
Yeah.
Then you finna go to college and play in front of 50, 60, 70, 80, 98,000. I played in front of 106,000 one time. You know what I'm saying? So now,
Ooh.
I probably didn't play in front of that many all of my high school years combined total attendance. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's different factors and elements that suggest that. But highlight tapes, I mean, I'm not really big on highlight tapes, me personally.
Let me ask you this. Are you more than a trainer? I mean, you have these young kids that need to speak into the lives that, as far as checking them, as far as their social media. Do you kind of mentor them in all aspects of their life other than football?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, one thing that I do, and I found out over the years, is that you can't go out your way to do it per se. because some of these kids are really, really private, and that's an uncomfortable conversation sometimes. But if I run across something that I see and I don't like it, like good example, I had a kid to follow me, and I got a notification on Instagram. This has been a couple years ago, and once I clicked on his profile and looked at some of his pictures, he had like all this money he had up, and he had a pistol in the other hand, what I'm saying, and whatnot. Like he's some, I don't know, gangster
Mm.
dope or whatever the case may be. So I didn't follow him back. You know what I'm saying, and
Mm.
whatnot. I don't want to affiliate with that mess. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot. So, and I know scouts don't like that either. So I have a talk with my guys directly, and I knew a kid personally. I went to my high school. That was being recruited. You know what I'm saying, probably maybe 10 years ago, 18 years ago or so. And something happened along those lines, and I think he went from like 12 to 14 offers to 0 offers. I'm talking about like within 48 hours.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So these people's not playing. They're not trying to bring no hard heads to campus. They probably already dealing with some hard heads and trying to figure out a way to get them away.
Right.
They're not trying to bring no
That's
allies.
right.
They're not trying to bring no hard head buddies. They're not trying to do that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's nah.
Mhm.
They're not trying to
That's
spend
right.
time dealing with that. You know what I'm saying, so I talk to them, periodically, but I think the guys who train with guys like me and Rob and some of us, I think they kind of know kind of our natural, kind of disposition on stuff like that. And if they do have that stuff, I mean, they're not gonna tell us. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying, for sure. I would have to run across it. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. So if I run across it, naturally I'm gonna say something,
Yeah.
to them. I mean, you need to take that down, and then especially like these pre-draft guys. These guys getting ready for the NFL draft. If you have it on there and you going through pre-draft already, like you're here from January to March or April or whatever the case may be, and you already had some stuff, and your prospect, your NFL prospect, they already done saw it. Now
Wow.
they've already seen it. You can go take it down, but they've already seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it get extensive. I mean,
Right.
that's an FBI a background check. You know what I'm saying, with
Yes,
these
it
guys.
is.
You know what I'm saying? They dig deep
All the way through kindergarten.
all the way through kindergarten. I mean, as deep as they can find information, that's where they're going. I mean, if you scratch your butt the wrong way, if you boo boo on yourself, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out what kind of pants you had on, what was color your what color your underwear. You know what I'm saying? Did you go home that day? Did they change you at the nurse's office? Did your mom bring you clothes? You know what I'm saying? They gonna find out. I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to answer your question. So to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I try to talk to them much as I can, but at the end of the day, though, I try to hold them accountable. Also, you didn't want to put it on there, so
Mm.
you have to deal with it. So you got to take it off, and if you don't take it off,
Right.
I'm not finna waste my time trying to tell you to do something to get where you trying to go. That don't make no sense.
Right. That's good.
Really. So look, Clay, there's in the comments we have some from a guest that's watching the show, a lady named Stacy Harris.
Well, Steph.
Do the guys you train in high school, I'm sorry, it says guys you train in high, what happened? Okay, guys you train are about to go pro. How do you keep those guys when agents are pushing them elsewhere? Oh, that's a good question.
You know what? I mean, you
Did
got
you get
you
it?
have yeah. You have to let it run its course. I mean, you have to. You drive yourself
Okay.
nuts trying to do that.
Okay.
The thing about me, I only train those who want to train with me. To be honest. So especially like we've been together for a long time, and I mean, if from a morals and values perspective, if you feel like that's what you need to do, I mean, it was probably best that we sever that relationship now anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only gonna get worse once you get money. You know what I'm saying? So so now it's like, well, I mean, you don't want to pay it forward. I mean, so I don't get involved in that. To be honest. So if we've been together X amount of years, right? And an agent come into your life for 3 months or whatever case may be, and that agent persuade you to go somewhere else, I mean that says a lot about you, to be honest. It really do. So
Mm.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get involved in that stuff. That's either the individual's decision or a family decision. And like I said, I only train those. Even right today, though. I mean, even with my high school, college pro guys, I don't train all the guys around here. Like everybody affiliate me with training all the big time guys, whatever the case may be, and I don't. I train guys who want to train with me. I mean, period. I mean, it is what it is, and that keeps me safe from chasing kids and catering to parents and stuff like that. So, nah, I mean, I don't. That's a part of my life I don't
Right.
want.
Well, you are not going to get away
Yeah,
from
so and
playing the
like
game.
when my son
Oh, go ahead, Arisha.
I'm sorry, we got that delay, Miss Karen. So when Quiv was going, of course he went as a free agent, he made it a point to stay with who he was with. He wanted to stay with D Rob as of course being a receiver. He wanted to stay with Rob, even though they wanted him to go over to those other complexes over there in Fort Worth. And I mean, I appreciated that because even if they didn't, I with this loyalty thing to where you got my kid, and this comment I heard the person just even said, if that person got your kid that far, why would you move elsewhere? So I thought it was just me, feeling like, to me, common sense would be to stick with the person. If it ain't broke, it ain't, don't, why fix it, So to me, that's just a loyalty thing. That would be strange to me. Not, and I agree. I wouldn't chase the kid either. I wouldn't chase. To me, it says a lot about a person if you're able to. Okay, me in the draft, I ain't got nothing to say. I mean, not in bad blood, but I just that would make me feel some kind of way. I'll be honest with that. That would make me feel some kind of way that you put all this work, a kid you may have started in middle school or high school, all the way through college, through the draft, and then all of a sudden, like you said, a guy you met 3 months ago can sway you another direction. So
Yeah, well, and the thing
that
about and
that was a question from her from the
it happens.
comments.
Yeah, and again, it happens.
Hmm.
And it happens more frequently than you think. To be honest, somebody come in and start
Dang.
throwing around big words and stuff at these parents and get to throwing around money and bags of money to them and all that type of stuff. The one thing that I try to remind families of is, look, an agent is coming to you to try to work for you, not for you to try to work for them. The agent works for you.
That's right.
It's not the other way around. That's why you can fire agents. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the agent don't fire you. I mean, he can. I mean, he can sever in a relationship, but the agent work for you. You don't work for the agent. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I went through a situation, about two
Right.
going on 3 years ago now. So, with one of my guys, where like, the family was telling the agent, hey, look, we've been training with Clay Mack since high school, et cetera, et cetera. This our guy, this who we gonna train with, da 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 da. But what happens is sometimes these agents will buy what they call slots at these facilities, right? So they'll pre-buy a slot to where they can slot their kid in, or slot their athlete in to that facility to train to get ready for the draft. Okay, well then now if you got an outside influence per se, so let's just say if they're a facility that I don't necessarily train at. Okay, now I say, well, I don't train at that facility. I said now the kid will be like, okay, well I'm gonna go wherever you at. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but let's go. But then the agent get in his ear and say, hey, look,
Right.
well, I have a great relationship with this agent. With this facility over here. They've done good work and this, that, and other, whatever the case may be, or whatnot. Okay, yeah, Mr. Agent, though. Why didn't you call the guy who's been training him for 8 years, though? Why didn't you call the guy that's been training for 6, 7 years, or whatever,
Right.
how we can collaborate and come up with something? Because that facility that you bought that slot is not gonna lose that slot because that trainer don't train. They're gonna work something out. Then at that facility or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the agents come in and they know these parents, is novice about this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And only thing the parent want is for their kid to go to the league. They
Right.
want their kid to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And they think because this agent doing this and in this business that the agent knows best. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, the agent might not necessarily know best in that particular situation. No, the agent just know that I've spent my money already, and I need my money to be well spent by me sliding this kid into this particular spot over at a facility that I've already, paid for. You know what I'm saying per se.
Mhm.
So that's where it kind of get a little
Just
hairy
paid for.
sometimes. Just so happened, me and D Rob, we train all the facilities here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. And I tell all the guys who contact me, it doesn't matter where you choose. And I don't steer one way or another. I say, hey, look, if you want to go to APEC over in Fort Worth, I'm the DB guy there. If you want to go to Exos over in Frisco, I'm the DB guy there. You want to go to MJP, Michael Jones Performance over in McKinney, I'm the DB guy there. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you at, I'm going to touch you regardless. So that decision between you or you and your family, or whoever making that decision. So, and that's just part of, me and guys like me and D Rob and Brandon Tucker and guys like us creating relationships with these facilities. And it goes both ways. Atlet as well, and it goes both ways. The fact that we create relationship with the facilities, and the facilities reciprocate that by nurturing the relationship with us as well. So it's a partnership type of deal all around the board.
Drop the mic. See, that's why we have Can We Talk Sports from the perspective of moms, so we can share the story, so we can be able to know what to do and what not to do, and not always just go lean on what one person is telling you. The fact that someone else can share their story and we can make an informed, educated decision.
Absolutely.
So, but Mr. Mack, you are not going to get away with not playing our game. Would you rather? So, because I got you said something earlier that I have a very good question that I want to ask you. So let me do this little video.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so since we're already past an hour, I'm going to ask one question. So here's the question: would you rather fart really loud or quietly poop in your pants?
Oh, I'm a farting guy. I want to fart loud. I want to fart as loud as I can. What you mean? Poop? 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 Nah. I'm gonna move the cover out the way so we can go through my house. I want to hear the echo. If it don't echo, it ain't doing hard enough.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. What you mean? I fart. Yeah.
It's horrible. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
nah.
Oh wow. So do you have one, Arisha?
You want me to ask?
Yeah, go
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with it. I'm confused which one to ask. Let me just juggle. Would you rather have beef or chicken?
I love chicken. I'm a chicken guy. I love beef.
Okay.
I mean, I love beef. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But beef just take a little longer to digest. So
right.
There you go. Okay, great answer.
Okay, would you rather
great answer.
be an NFL player or NFL trainer?
Yeah.
Trainer. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why now.
Okay. Look, my last one.
I don't want people to get it twisted, right? Okay, so would love to be an NFL player. Don't get me wrong now, but I've already trained longer than the average NFL player. I'm playing though. The life expectancy for NFL guy. Yeah, life expectancy for NFL guys 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been training since. I've been training 15 years now, between 12 and 15, about 14 years now. So, trainer. I got to say trainer.
All right.
Okay, my other one. Would you rather be the president of the United States, or would you like to be the commissioner for the NFL?
I'd rather be the commissioner.
You don't want to
No, I don't want all them depth and all that. I don't want all that.
Elaborate why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want all the.
But they be booing the commissioner though.
Yeah, I'd rather take booze and death threats though.
Right.
Nah, man, I don't want all that. You know what I'm saying? Then being the president, you got to have security for the rest of your life, all that type stuff. And no, commissioner and the commissioner, this commissioner we got made 40 million a year. 40 million. Our president, I think our president's salary is only like
That's what's up.
3 million. I think our president's salary is like $3 million or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
To be the president. Now, yeah, you got all the other perks. But the salary, commissioner, 40 million?
40 million.
Give me that every day, all day, twice
In
on
my
Sunday.
DJ Khaled voice, you smart.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, and then being a commissioner also, I mean, it puts me in my genre that I love to do. It's sports and all that. So it's right. It'll be right up my alley.
Mm. Well, all right, guys.
Okay.
This has been a great show, and I just appreciate you, Coach Mack, for coming on and sharing the inside of the best DBA guru, Clay Mack. Clay Mack. Clay Mack.
I appreciate
I think we should show his video one more time before closing out for those latecomers. Show his video time.
Okay.
They'll just let everybody know what they missed at the beginning, the intro.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye, but then I'll play the video and then I'll end it after the video.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
all right, you guys.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you so much. Here we go.
All right. Appreciate it.
I keep hearing everybody talking about who the best DB trainer in the country. I keep hearing this over and over and over again, and I just don't get it. I just don't. Have you ever heard of Clay Mack? Period.